Okay, so can everyone see my screen? If not, then you can say no. Okay, so today, can everyone hear me? All good?
Yes.
Perfect. Alrighty. So today I'm going to tell you one of the strategies of solving the worded problems, and we are using the graphing question, like the linear graph question from exercise 7.3. So okay, so what it is? So the acronym RIVERS, as you can see here. So that's what you can use this strategy to solve any worded question for any topic. So as you can see, R is for read, I is to identify, V is for visualizing, E for estimating, R for rearrange, and S for solve, and then you check your answer. So let's see how can we apply this strategy to solve your linear graph question in 7.3. So first one, for example, the R is for read the question. So if you've been given, of course, a question in your test, in your exam, the first important thing is to read it. So when you're reading the question, you need to be thinking, okay, what concept will I apply to that question while you are reading it? So here is a question from your book. And so of course, the first step is to read the question. So I'll read it out. Water is leaking out of a water tank such that the amount of water remaining in the tank is given by the formula V equals 3000 minus 48T, where V is the volume of the water in the tank in liters and T is the time it takes to drain in minutes. A, how much water was in the tank before it started leaking? B, how much water is left in the tank after leaking for 20 minutes? C, show that if the tank is checked after 65 minutes, there will be no water left. Okay, so we have read the question. I'm thinking, okay, so here is an equation given. So maybe it's something to do with the linear graph. So I have to apply my understanding of the linear graphs here. It's a linear equation. So while reading the question, you just start thinking of what concept will you be applying. Okay, so these are the further steps when I go to your next one. So we already read. The next step is to identify the key information. So when I go to my next slide here, so that's to identify. So when I'm identifying, it's important to highlight what is given in the question and then to underline what do I need to answer, or other way around, whichever works better for you. You can underline the given or what you have to answer with the highlight, that's fine. But as long as you are able to identify the important information in the question, like what I have done here, I have highlighted the important information which is already given. I have been given the formula. I know that T is the time and V is the volume. So sorry, my little one is at the back. Okay, so then identify the key information. So and underlined what I have done. I have underlined the what I have to find. So I need to find how much water was in the tank before it started to leak, and then how much water is left after 20 minutes. And then I need to show, that is an important word here. I need to show that if the tank is checked after 65 minutes, will there be any water left or not? Okay, so that was my identify part done here. And then the next step is visualize here. So visualize, can I draw or visualize the question? So thinking, it's already, the picture is given here, the diagram. So maybe when you're visualizing, you are thinking, making a picture in your mind, because in some of the questions the picture may not be given to you. So you can think, okay, if you are thinking about linear graphs, you can think about how will it look like. If it's an equation, you are thinking about an equation. So that's your visualize step. And then the next is your estimate. So if I go to my next slide, okay, so you're estimating what would be the correct answer look like. So for the first one, how much water was in the tank before it started to leak? So when I look at my equation, I can see, okay, so you know the equation mxy equals mx plus c. So this is your c is your y-intercept. So I can think about, okay, maybe if the time is 0 here, before it start to leak, and it maybe the V volume would be 3000 because it's a wine to set. Start thinking, estimating the answer. And then for the next part, how much water is left in the tank after like 20 minutes. So I know T is 20, so maybe I need to fill the value of T as 20. And then for the next one, show that if the tank is checked after 65 minutes, there will be no water left. So then I will be checking, okay, so 65 minutes, I need to substitute here for T for C. So that's how I'm estimating. I'm trying to think how to solve the question. Then your next part is you are rearranging. So check if do you need to transform, transpose, rearrange the equation. So in the first one, as I was estimating before, if time is 0, then V would be equal to 3000 minus 48 times 0. So T was my time in this equation. I'm substituting that 0 here. And when you would do that, you will get the answer, right? So because 48 times 0 would be 0, so your 3000 would be your answer. And then for B and C, I already estimated my equation, so there is no rearranging required. So it means I can just move on to my next step, which is my solve. So I will just solve the equation. So for the A part, I will get 3000. For B, when I solve 48 times 20, I get 960. Then taking it away from 3000 at 2040 liters. And then for C again, substituting that 65 minutes for T, so I will get minus 120. Now the important thing, you already solved your question. You need to check your answer, whether your answer is right or not. And check your units then as well, the important thing. So for part A, it's talking about water, so it must be in liters. So you write liters next to it. For B as well, again, liters next to it. And then for C, it says you need to show that, so you need to explain your answer. Okay, we volume cannot be negative, so the tank must have already been empty by 65 minutes because we are getting here the negative answer. So you need to explain the answer in some question because it says show. Okay, and whereas in A and B they are just asking you how much, so you know how much, it's just 3000 liters and 2040 liters. So this is the strategy you can use when you are solving any worded problem. So you first read the question, identify, visualize, estimate, rearrange, and solve and check. And the acronym for that is RIVERS. Maybe, hopefully, it makes sense to you. Any questions anyone has?